Excellencies, distinguished experts, and friends. It is my pleasure to address this symposium on Mine Action, Pathway to a Safer World, organized by the Horizon Group, Organization for Post-Conflict Environment Management, the think tank IIFOMAS, India International Forum on Mine Action and Safety, and supported by Center for Land Warfare Studies and the Indian Council of World Affairs. I congratulate the organizers on the choice of the theme of today's discussion, which is particularly timely given the growing strife and conflict in the world. I also wish to commend the organizers for their quest to look at the subject of mines from the lens of disarmament. India has a long-standing tradition of disarmament. Espousal of disarmament is not a sign of weakness or underdevelopment, but is symbolic of richness of thought, spiritual strength, and the spirit of universal brotherhood. Disarmament is essential to ensure the very survival of the human race and our collective future. Moreover, there is no denying the fact that disarmament will ensure productive use of humanity's resources and give fruition to a global peace dividend. However, instead of working for peace, today the world seems to be moving on the path of war. A deeply polarizing spirit of competition and hate has made its way across all realms globally, from inter-country relations to international economy, from technology to interfaith interface. So while the need for disarmament approaches is critical today, like no other time, the realities of the day point to the other direction. Besides, there is little genuine bridging of the traditional North-South divide on disarmament matters, with the major powers having all but forgotten that disarmament is still on the global agenda. Will the current geopolitical shifts and global tumult result in expanded space for disarmament? Will disarmament become a foundational principle of the new world order? Only time will tell. Mines, both land and sea, have been around for several centuries, but the proliferation in the 20th century, bloody that it was, has been of unprecedented scale. Their use received a tremendous impetus in and due to the world wars. According to the UN, today nearly 70 countries such as Afghanistan, Cambodia, Vietnam, Syria, Yemen, Iraq, and other countries are heavily contaminated by around 110 million active landmines. The UN website also says that landmines kill and maim around 1,000 to 2,000 people every month, and that it will take 1,100 years to clear all the active landmines in the world if no new mines are deployed. A preposterous figure by all means. Mines have frequently been used in the ongoing Ukraine and Gaza conflicts. A significant number of landmines are being used in the strife-torn countries of the African continent: South Sudan, DRC, Angola, Somalia, and the Sahel region, among others. In Southeast Asia, Laos PDR, Cambodia, Vietnam, Myanmar continue to suffer from contemporary and decades-old landmines, affecting future generations. Landmines and IEDs are also being used in an indiscriminate and irresponsible manner by non-state actors, terrorist outfits, and insurgent groups, and India knows it only too well. Laying of mines is at the heart of military and naval preparedness. Meant to inflict damage and deter the enemy, mines continue to find utility in the battlefield strategies and military doctrines of several major powers and other countries. For India, its adverse security environment compels use of mines. Prohibition can follow not only improved regional and global security environment, but also a durable and lasting peace and firm and verifiable commitments on disarmament on all sides. An atmosphere of trust is a necessary prerequisite. Needless to add, India remains committed to a universal and verifiable ban on all types of mines. Voluntarily and conscious of its responsibilities, India does not trade or transfer mines either externally or domestically. It has long ceased production of non-detectable mines and rendered all non-detectable mines detectable in compliance with its international obligations. There is no manufacturing of mines in the private sector in India. Mine infestation is certainly not a critical issue for India, but it is for countries which have, as I said, chronically or otherwise been stricken by conflict, especially in Africa and Southeast Asia. Challenges in mine clearance, such as those related to vintage minefields, numerous types of landmines, environmental preservation during demining, diverse terrain and topography, climatic conditions, technology upgradation, cost-effective solutions call for enhanced international cooperation. Sharing of best practices, capacity building, technological cooperation, and awareness creation are key. What is India's approach to mine action? We've heard a lot of speakers speak today, and how I see it is India's approach to mine action is multifaceted and comprises contributions through UN peacekeeping, bilateral assistance and training, domestic R&D and deployment of solutions, collaboration with international organizations and civil society. India's approach to mine action spans demining operations, public awareness outreach, victim assistance, victim rehabilitation through financial, employment and health assistance, and legislative protection to disabled victims. This reflects our commitment to disarmament and humanitarian objectives. India has trained mine clearance teams working in Cambodia, Laos, Angola, Benin, and Afghanistan. India has provided support for mine clearance tasks in Sri Lanka. Use of IEDs by terrorists, extremists, and unlawful armed groups are also of particular concern to India, having been a decades-long victim of cross-border terrorism. India's Center for Excellence for Training on IEDs has organized workshops for several foreign delegations, including from Bhutan, Bangladesh, Australia, and Vietnam. On the occasion of Mahatma Gandhi's 150th birth anniversary, the Indian Ministry of External Affairs, along with the renowned Indian charitable organization, this was mentioned earlier in the day, Bhagwan Mahavir Viklang Sahayata Samiti, launched the India for Humanity initiative in 2018 involving organizing artificial limb Jaipur foot fitment camps. Thousands of artificial limbs have been fitted under this initiative in countries such as Malawi, Iraq, Nepal, Egypt, Bangladesh, Ethiopia, Syria, Sri Lanka, Mongolia, etc. under this initiative. This initiative, as of now, has been extended till 2026. India is also playing its part through private sector demining entities such as Horizon Group by offering its expertise in mine clearance to other countries. Along with mine clearance operations, the Horizon Group has also been attending to welfare activities such as victim assistance and risk education in foreign countries, as we heard in the morning today. We hope that more such Indian entities will come up in this sector. I would like to end by recalling the picture that you showed in the morning of the, I don't know whether the students saw it, in Geneva, there in front of the UN office, there is a huge three-legged chair which has been installed there, and near to the chair there are some small fountains, and it has been set up there to commemorate mine victims. And when I think of that chair, what it reminds me of, as if that chair is cautioning the world, it is cautioning us that the world precariously sits on a three-legged chair. Why I say the world sits on a 3-leg chair because it's right in front of the UN building where all the countries of the world are represented. And it calls upon all countries and all peoples to wake up and deal with the death and destruction caused by arms. The water fountains next to the chair where kids bathe and play symbolize that hope springs eternal in the human breast. Internationally agreed norms, regulations, a cooperative spirit, and disarmament are the only sane way forward for mankind. Thank you for your attention.